Hey guys, back at it. This is day 96 in my 100 days of daily diary challenge. I was prompted to do this in a meditation devotional session. I am absolutely amazed by how much work I've been able to do on myself through just posting these daily diary entries. I am not looking to gain fame or fortune or whatever. It was just something that I felt like I needed to do, and I followed that intuition. And now we are so close to that 100-day mark. I'm so excited. I'm thankful for everybody who's been listening in and following. Please, if you do follow me and you have any comments or want to share some love or anything, please drop a comment, like, share, subscribe if you feel like it. Not necessary, but always brings me joy to know that other people are finding value in what I'm posting. So let's get to it. Day 96. Today is a Friday. Typical school day for the kids. We had the sick day and they're well rested, ready to go to school. Got everybody in the car, ready to go. Took my son to Whole Foods for our date. I had a really great time just browsing all of the things that they have. He was able to pick some new items and he was very excited about it. We have this routine for the Whole Foods date, which is kind of funny. It's cute. We go in together, we grab a basket, we grab a drink because the drink case is right there. He usually picks like a package of cookies, and then we make our way to the chip aisle, and he either gets like popcorn or chips. Sometimes he does get like little candies, but large packages so he can share with his friends, which is very nice for me to see that he not only wants to get something for himself, but he wants to share with his friends. And I'm totally wanting to support that. So once we get our items, we go to the checkout. We always pick the same checkout, the self-checkout. They used to have a trash can in the corner, but they since got rid of it. And so we have a new routine. We ring up the items, put it in our bag, then take a new bag and open it up and put it in the corner as the trash bag. He takes the receipt, balls it up and crumples it as tight as he can, and then he steps all the way back on the other side and tries to shoot. So he's trying to make a basket with his little receipt ball. And a lot of the times he gets it in the first try, and sometimes it takes a few ones, but it's just, that is our whole routine, and typically it doesn't change too much. Sometimes we do have things that kind of upset the flow, but he loves to have routine, and routine works really well for him. And all the employees know us, and they do support him in his efforts to get the basket, which is really sweet. So I will support him as well. So we got all of our things and went into the car, like packed all his stuff in his school backpack for him to, have. And then as we're driving, I had been talking to him about this new car I saw that just like caught my eye. And it is by the company Vintage. It is a pink Bronco, and it looks like an old school Bronco, but it's not. It's newer. And I was trying to find the price point on it, and I was like, this is a really cute car. I love it. I think it's really cool. It just makes me happy, and I just wanted to know the price point. And so he's trying to help me. We're both looking on the phone, and we can't find it anywhere. And so I just take my information and put it into the contact us feature, and then somebody immediately texts me, and they were like, oh, we've seen your interest in our vehicle and we know that you want to see the price point, and here it is. Oh my gosh. Both of our faces and our mouths were like dropped. This car cost $226,000. And I started laughing, and he was just looking at me like, what are you laughing about? And I said, this is ridiculous. This car is absolutely amazing, adorable. But to have it have such a great price point, like that is equal to a house, like a full house. And before we had talked about like Teslas and Cybertrucks and how those price points are very high. So I really wasn't expecting it to be that high. I was expecting it to be more like, maybe 70, 80,000, not 226. But I was just laughing with him. The lady who texted me was very sweet, so I texted her back like, thank you for your time. I appreciate you responding so quickly. Unfortunately, that price point is very shocking, and, can't get it or whatever. Like, it was a very quick response, but just thankful for her time and her response. So it was just funny because we were laughing about it. And when I drop him off at school, usually I just like piggyback him. So he hops on my back and I run him across the street. And when I drop him off, we have our own little handshake, and it's super cool, super fun. I love this time of engagement. I know that this is probably the last year that I'm going to have that full engagement, because when he goes to middle schools typically, they're less open to having parents kind of like hanging about, and it's more of like the quick drop off or the bus. You can't even have lunch with the kids, so it is what it is. So I'm just enjoying this time of connection with him and just the fun little things that we've created and we do every day, every week. So once I dropped him off, I had plans to go hang out with a friend of mine, kind of closer to where my grandmother lives, and I was also going to go to my grandma's. So I just kind of planned out my day so that I can go hang out with him and have coffee and talk about what he's been up to and talk about what I've been up to. And this whole friendship has been quite amazing because he is a content creator on social media, and the way that I found out about him is through following his content. And then as I started to follow his content, I noticed things in the background like, hey, those things look really familiar. I know exactly the area that he lives, and it's close. And then he kind of posted that he was teaching yoga classes. So I was like, great. And I went to a yoga class in person and we connected. So from that, like, I was never fangirl. I was always just like very interested in his content. We've kind of developed this friendship, and we're really, the more that we learn about each other, the more that we're in alignment and we're in a similar mode of, working through the same things. We love metaphysical, crystals, tarot, like all the things that I'm finding passion and love for. It's already the people around me love and appreciate the same things. So that's kind of cool. So we were just sitting there talking about, how he's doing and building all of the content, and I was talking about all the work I've been doing and how my business has just exploded, and I have all these opportunities to travel, and it's just manifestations are flooding in, and it's just overwhelming in a good way. So as we're sitting there talking, engaging, and connecting, he reaches across the table and he's like, "Would you be on my podcast?" And I was like, "Absolutely, yes." And then I took a minute and I said, if you had asked me a couple of months ago, I would have hesitated and possibly said no, because I didn't have this confidence in myself. And to even think about listening to my own voice, number one, seeing myself on a camera, being open enough to just talk and discuss and have that content put in front of a lot of people, I would have not felt comfortable. Now I'm completely comfortable with it. It doesn't scare me, it excites me. So this is another thing about leaning into your fears, and how by leaning into your fears, the expansion happens and the excitement happens. So that was really cool and exciting, and walked away from that hangout session with like so much joy and excitement. And then as I'm sharing this excitement with my boyfriend, we talked about like maybe he would have me on his podcast to promote the coffee service I'm doing at his event. So now I have 2 podcasts set up that I'm going to be a part of, which is really, really cool. And then after that, I went to my grandma's house to help her continue to purge through her things, talk about where the business is going, how she's going to do these tea classes, and how we're going to repackage things. And she's definitely on a level where she used to be. We're teaching at a college grade structure with PowerPoints and all these detailed information was where she was at. And I was like, that is totally fine, because I know that that's what she loves. And I said, well, this is a class of like, moms and teenagers and like whoever, normal people coming to this class to learn the basics of herbs and to learn the basics of brewing tea and combining certain things together. I said, they don't need massive PowerPoints. They don't need all this massive information. They're not taking a test on it. They just need the basics. And we have to start somewhere to get ourselves up to that level for her to be able to be invited on podcasts or be invited to speak at these big events. Or we're not even like getting orders yet on Etsy. And I was like, once we start doing these classes, people are going to be aware of us. They're going to be aware of what you do, the products that we produce, and then it's going to come. And then her teeth are going to be fixed, so then we can get into doing podcasts, and we can get into doing little videos of her, and we can get into recording content for her certification classes that we're going to do. So all of this is coming, and I felt like, my role in this is to kind of like listen to everything that she has to say and express, and then reel it in, and then reel it in, and then reel it in, so that we have, this basic area to start from. And so I've been enjoying hanging out and learning more about what makes her passionate, and definitely helping her kind of, we sit down, we have lunch, we do things, we, talk and brainstorm, and all the things that we do is just amazing, and I love it so much. I needed to wrap up so I could get back to the house and get the kids from school. I also, on my way home, I had to stop and pick up a cash box for all of my coffee events, and which that worked out greatly too. It was in the same route I take home. I just, did a quick little side stop, got the cash box. Actually, I don't typically hand my business cards to the people I'm picking up product from, but I felt prompted to, so I handed this lady my business card, and she had just opened up a nail salon. And I said, hey, this is what I do. I pop up and I do coffee service and education, and if you ever need somebody, I'm available. I'm just starting my business. And she was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. I'll definitely let you know. So cool. If anything happens from that, that's amazing. If nothing, it doesn't matter. I just followed my intuition with, engaging with her a little bit more. So I got home, got the kids from the bus stop, settled in with them a little bit, and made sure that they were prepped and ready to go to their dad's house for the weekend. Hung out with my daughter a little bit more, because we were watching a show together, and it was like at a cliffhanger moment, so we definitely wanted to like kind of get past that a little bit. And we did. So I took them over to their dad's house. And not like I really had been avoiding talking to him or engaging with him. It's just like I'm avoiding putting myself in places where there are negative people and negative situations and negative vibes. But I felt, I'll walk them to the door. I'll really quick touch base. I've been feeling this new sense of openness to our relationship. And I think it's a lot of the healing work that I've been doing and that projection of I want him to be the best dad that he can be for them. And I want him to show up. And that would make me joyful to know that he was doing that. I would love for him to have a partner or to have somebody who he's in a relationship with and he loves and, is giving him the attention and this, like, whatever he needs too. And of course, when those things happen, it's going to be a normal amount of weirdness, but that's normal. So, I just connected with him and talked about the car stuff that's been happening and normal things and said goodbye and went home. So this weekend now is just me by myself, no kids, no boyfriend, no plans. And I just got myself a little girl dinner and sat on the sofa and watched a little bit of a show that I was wanting to watch that I wasn't sure if it was appropriate for both of the kids. Watched a show, had my girl dinner, caught up on some social media stuff that I needed to post and circulate for different pop-ups that I'm doing. I know my love was doing his event, so I reached out saying, hey, I'm going to bed soon. If we can connect, that would be great. If not, that's fine. And he's an hour behind where he is right now, so it didn't happen, which that's fine. So I was able to get my sleep, get my rest before bed, kind of put myself in this meditation mode where I work through all of the things that have happened throughout the day, have gratitude for them, release them, and then do my projections for the next day. So all the things I want to feel and gain and learn, and whatever positivity I want to set up for the next day is what I do in the night, so that it's set up. And I typically will dream or feel in that while I'm sleeping, and then wake up kind of in this mode of yes. And then in the morning before I get up, I do the same thing. I just solidify and reaffirm those affirmations and projections that were done the night before for the day. So that works for me. I don't know if it works for everybody, but I feel like it's very, very important that the last thing that you consume and the first thing that you consume be things that are positive and reaffirming. Is if you pick up your phone right away and you see all the news and you see the bad things, or you turn on the TV or you turn on the radio or you turn on the news, those things are going to affect you, and you might not see it, but it will. So I have been continuing listening to the book, The 5 a.m. Club, which has been very inspiring. And it's more in a story format, so it's different. It's a different style of book than I'm typically listening to, but I've been enjoying it so much. So that was really the full day. I didn't do anything really crazy out of the ordinary, but all of the things that I did brought me so much joy that I started to almost cry at a few points, literal tears coming out because of how much joy I was feeling and how much excitement I was feeling. And that's amazing. And I just want to continue feeling that way. Not like I'm trying to push myself to cry, but I just so overjoyed. And actually something else that happened was that my good friend I hung out with the other day, she mentioned the human design chart. And then today, my friend Ben, he recommended the same thing. So I was like, okay, 2 people in my circle who I think very highly of have recommended this. I need to look into it. So it took me a while, but I did find a really good place to do a free chart, and it was like 49 pages, very, very intense. And I'm still digging into it and figuring out what that all means. But it's really, really cool, and I'll let you guys know more about it as I digest it, as I kind of pick it apart and figure out what exactly all the pieces of it mean. But I think it's really cool. So I am so excited for what's coming up. I'm so excited to reach the 100-day mark, and I thank you guys, and I'm so grateful for you for being here with me on this journey. Please drop me a comment, subscribe, like, share, all the things. And I will catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.